Later that day, the 7 towering giants returned from a retreat in the woods, elaborately decked out in animal skins, feathers, and mud. With them was a prince from a nearby kingdom who had come on this male retreat. They were all laughing and high-fiving until they saw the bodies and stopped short. "What has happened?" asked the prince. "Apparently our house guest and this other woman got into some sort of catfight and killed each other," surmised one giant. "If they thought that by doing this they could make us slaves to our weaker emotions, they're wrong," fumed another. "Well, as long as we have to dispose of them, let's practice one of those Viking funerals we've read about." "Stop right there," said the leader of the giants. "Those half-eaten apple pieces, that filthy costume. This has all the earmarks of some sort of magic spell. They're not really dead at all." "Whew," sighed the prince. "That makes me feel better." "Hold it, prince," said the leader. "Don't touch her. You'll break the spell." The leader thought for a minute and said, "My brothers, I see certain economic possibilities arising from this." The giants nodded in agreement, but the prince interrupted. "What about me?" "No dice, prince," said the leader. "You can look, but don't touch. Otherwise, you'll break the spell. Tell you what, though, you can have the other one if you want." "I don't want to sound classist," said the prince, "but she's not high enough caliber for me." "That's pretty big talk," said one of the giants. The leader said, "Come on, brothers, let's lift these two off the floor and decide how we can best display them." It took 3 giants for each female, but they managed to get the bodies aloft. As soon as they did, however, the pieces of poisoned apple fell from the mouths of Snow White and the Queen, and they awoke from the spell. "What do you think you're doing? Put us down!" they shouted. The giants were so startled they almost dropped the women to the floor. WOMYN. "That was the most sickening thing I've ever heard," shouted the Queen, offering us around like pieces of property. "And you," said Snow White to the prince. "Yuck." "Hey, don't blame me," said the prince. The leader of the giants said, "Don't start tossing blame around. You both broke into our property in the first place. I can call the police." "Don't try it, Napoleon," said the Queen. "This forest is property of the crown. You are the ones who are trespassing." This rejoinder caused quite a stir, but not as big a commotion as when the Queen warned. "And another thing, while we were immobile and you all blathered on in your sexist way, I had a personal awakening. From now on, I am going to dedicate my life to healing the rift between women's souls and their bodies. I am going to teach women to accept their natural body images and become whole again. Snow White and I are going to build a women's spa and conference center on this very spot where we can hold retreats, caucuses, and ovariums for the sisters of the world." There was much shouting and name-calling, but the Queen eventually had her way. Before the 7 towering giants could be evicted from their home, though, they packed up their sweat lodge and moved deeper into the woods. The prince stayed on at the spa as a cute but harmless tennis pro, and Snow White and the Queen became good friends and earned worldwide fame for their contributions to sisterhood. The giants were never heard from again, save for little muddy footprints that were sometimes found in the morning outside the windows of the spa's locker room. So as you can see, this is a funny version of the tale. I have left out some parts that probably aren't appropriate for video, but there's more to it, a little more to it. So if you felt like there were some gaps in there, there were. So if you want to take a look, I have this at the church. It's kind of funny, and there are different stories in here as well. Chicken Little and Three Little Pigs and Cinderella and Rapunzel, and they all have twists on the stories, much like this. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it shows you that it's not always what it seems. There are lots of viewpoints out there, and there is God looking over us all and seeing his point of view. And so I hope that you will help us to see and hear better when we're around others. Have a great day.